Yeah,
What's up, everybody?
unbelievable.
We're back here on the Conquer Athlete podcast. We are back from a 3 to 4 week hiatus. We are here with the one and only Ryan Bucciantini, and we're also here with Tyler Cooke, the infamous.
I was waiting to see what I got.
I tried to get some, guys. It's a long day. My brain is tired. I don't feel very creative, so I apologize for my lack of.
Well, I deserve that because I'm the
intro.
reason we haven't been on in 3 weeks, so I deserve that.
I mean, I don't think you're the reason. We all have things on, but I want to hear all about your airport stories. You know, you should have. It would have been amazing if you did like, you know, between two cans or something like that.
Yeah, instead of I could have interviewed people.
Instead of like between two ferns, you know, and like you were interviewing people at the airport, and you like had
Dude,
little,
I should have started documenting.
You'd have like your little legs dangling off the fucking chair.
Hanging on the thing? That
like,
bench?
Yeah, oh my God, that was hilarious.
Dude, the whole thing was a nightmare. For those that don't know, go check out my Instagram story. I got stuck in the Fort Lauderdale airport flying back from Wadapalooza last Monday. And let me tell you the root of it. I'm not gonna get into the details other than two stories.
Detail the shit out of it.
All right. Well, it all started because we had weather in Atlanta, TSA, blah, blah, blah. I had to fly Spirit.
Never do that.
Which I will never do again. I had a Delta flight, and then Jess and I got contracted with CrossFit to do some like content stuff around the open announcement, right? So we had our trip scheduled from Friday to Monday, so we had to move it up last minute. So I grabbed a Spirit flight for like, $41, and then you got to pay to breathe. So I moved it up, got the Spirit flight, and on Sunday night, it's like cloudy in Atlanta, and Spirit's like, hey, everything's canceled. We're done. I'm with like 8 people in our Airbnb just chatting, and all of a sudden I'm like, did y'all always get canceled? Nobody got canceled but me. So I immediately book a Delta flight for like 9:30 p.m. Monday afternoon. I go to the airport midday trying to get on standby. She flew out fine. My mother flew out fine, thank goodness, with my sister. Callie got out the night before. I say got out. We're talking about like we're in like Ghana. We got out of the airport. So anyway, my flight keeps getting backed up from like 9:45, like 30-minute increments. Finally, so here's the part I didn't tell on my Instagram stuff. Finally, at 3:30, they're like, hey, you guys can come back tomorrow morning, and we're going to fly you out of here at 10:30 in the morning. So I immediately thinking I'm going to outsmart the system. And I don't want to hear about it. Everybody's like, why didn't you just rent a car? You don't think I tried to rent a car and drive 10 hours? I did. It was like $1,500. I was like, I'll be fine. They're going to get us out tomorrow. Anyway, Uber to a hotel because I book it on Expedia. I'm like, I'm going to go get a hotel, get about 6 hours of sleep. I'm good. I Uber to the hotel. I booked the thing for Monday night into Tuesday, not Monday morning at 3:30 or whatever it was. So the lady's like, no vacancy. All right, so I do it again, Uber to another one. Mind you, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I Uber to another hotel. Same thing. Lady's like, nope, no way. So then I'm like, well, shit, I'm here. I'm going to go back to the airport, but I'm going to go to Waffle House because Waffle House, they'll have me. So I Uber to Waffle House. I walk up. It's a takeout only Waffle House. There's no dining room at Waffle House. At this point, I'm looking around to make sure I'm not being filmed, like I'm not being punked. So, right? So I'm looking around, and I'm in this like, so I get my food from the takeout thing. I walk next door to a Best Western. I'm like, surely they'll let me just eat in the lobby, right? It's not a big deal. I'm a nice guy. Walk in, the lady goes, oh, sir, you can't be in here. They're monitored. They'll call the police if you loiter. I was like, bro, I'm just trying to eat my scramble bowl. So I had my breakfast at the Wawa gas station next door on the patio outside with 2 electricians who were on their way to work at 4:30 in the morning.
My God.
And then I Ubered back to the airport, and then I was there for the next 24 hours, whatever, and finally got out and got home.
You think about like humanity, right? You're like, can someone just be a fucking human and just let me sit in here and eat my fucking scramble? Like, good God.
It's 4 in the morning. I'm clearly not. I have my bags. Like, I have my suitcase. I'm like, clearly not. With all due respect, I'm not a bum. I'm not just sitting, like, trying to find a place.
Yeah.
It was tough, man. So I probably spent $100 in Ubers just, like, bouncing around Fort Lauderdale to get my Waffle House and go home.
I could see you handling that like a king. Like, just being calm and, like, going with the flow and, like, all right, like I
appreciate that. My wife, she got out Sunday night, but she didn't get out till like her flight got delayed 3 or 4 hours. She didn't get home till like 3 in the morning. And then when I'm going through all this, this is funny. My mom and Callie both there texting me the whole time. My mom actually hooked me up with a Marriott the next morning. She called in and got points. There was nothing available, but she was able to get points on something. So anyway, they were with me the whole time. My wife's texting me the whole time. She's like, I just don't know how you're going. You're going through this so well. You're handling so. I would just be a wreck. Blah blah blah. And I literally was like, well, babe, I'm not. There's nobody to be mad at. Like no one. The poor TSA people and the gate ticket people. They're getting yelled at by all these people. Do you think they wanted to be there until 2 a.m. handling flight? Like nobody. This is a terrible situation.
Yeah, I know.
So it's like it is what it is. My mom has a small group of women that from her church, and she's like texting them saying, "Y'all, please pray for Tyler to get home. This and that." I was like, "Mom, I'm not in Somalia. I'm in the Fort Lauderdale airport.
I love it. I fucking love it, bro.
It's not a big deal.
I like the complete opposite. Like I try not to yell at people because I know it's like not their fault, but I'm like a Schedule 5 tornado internally in these situations. Like I'm just ready to explode. Like if someone looks at me the wrong way, like they're gonna get something. Like I'm the worst in those situations. I just get so fired up. I remember one time I was out when I used to work for CrossFit. I was in San Francisco, and I used to always do red-eye flights because I was like I hated traveling. I was gonna get home. So I did a red-eye flight out of San Francisco for a CrossFit. We were there across the headquarters. And I booked it at like the wrong airport. So I was like a 3-hour drive from the airport. I'm like, come on. So
That's on you.
That's on me. So I get there and it's like, the flight's canceled. Everything's canceled out of the San Francisco airport. And then I went to like 4 hotels. Every fucking hotel is sold out. I'm like, how the fuck are your hotels sold out? I'm like, every single one? And they're like, yep, every single one. And I went back to San Francisco airport. I just had to fucking spend the night in the airport.
Grind it out.
I felt it. I felt what you were going through in that Fort Lauderdale airport.
It wasn't bad until all the restaurants. I say restaurants. There was like 3 pizza joints and a Shake Shack.
Shake Shack,
and
you can live off
dude,
Shake
Shack. Have you ever had their breakfast? Bro, they have breakfast. Oh, you get a little egg and sausage and Sammy. It was delicious. Anyway, but when they start closing the restaurants and closing all the shops and putting up the gates, you kind of feel like you're being closed in. That was the part where I was like, I'd probably rather not be here. But I mean, it is what it is. I got home safely from Somalia, the Fort Lauderdale airport. It was great.
Oh my God.
It was awesome. It was a great trip.
Yeah, your Instagram was hilarious with that.
I did a little tour of my Airbnb. I showed all the places that I slept, all the little nooks and crannies. It was good.
You were there for like 2 days, right?
Yeah.
How?
At one point,
you're the largest airport in America. How can you not find a flight?
They had at one point they told us they had 20 planes on the tarmac and 10 gates. So they at one point they were like, Atlanta 9:35, whatever. You're next. And everybody's like, yes, we're like cheering up. Because by that point, like I know everybody on the flight. I know their stories, I know their kids. And so we're waiting in line. And all of a sudden, I'm not kidding, this like crowd of 100 people come out of nowhere. And I'm going to be honest with you, they looked like New York. Like they walked up and I could hear it. I was like, these guys aren't going to Atlanta. And so I asked, hey man, where y'all flying to? And they were like, well, we're flying to LaGuardia and they just moved our gate to number 2. And I was like, well, sir, they told me I was next on number 2 going to Atlanta. And they were like, that's not what they told us. So they literally bumped us because they bumped us back again. And then we got canceled on one of the nights, like the second night or something. It was an absolute shit show.
My God.
Yep. But it's all good. We got home. Good story. Had lots of pizza, lots of Shake Shack. It was awesome.
Shake Shack's good.
It was good.
Right. You like Shake Shack?
Had it several times.
Is that the Mark Wahlberg spot?
No.
It is. Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Who are you? No, it's like Wahlburger. Shake Shack is owned by Danny Meyer.
Right.
I know I'm right.
Nah, you're right.
I know I'm right.
No, I don't know if I've ever had it.
I tell you
They're
what.
about the same thing, aren't they?
Here's one thing for everybody listening. In-N-Out Burger sucks. And nobody argue with me that.
It's a hot take. I've only had it like twice. For the record,
Bro, it's
for the
not a
record,
hot take.
it's the hot
It's
take.
so overhyped.
It's a hamburger. It's a greasy hamburger.
Shake Shack's not overhyped. Shake Shack's like, that shit's good.
No, I'm saying
It's pretty
In-N-Out.
good.
I'm like, I don't understand people that will sit in a line for like 45 plus minutes
No way.
for In-N-Out. I don't get it.
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
I can make
No
a
way.
better burger at home
Yo, when is the last time
since I was
like
7.
So So I went to Houston for a baseball tournament, right? My flight got delayed. It was like 11:30, 11:45. We just got back to the hotel. Nowhere to eat, right? The hotel's like a rinky-dink hotel. And there's a Pizza Hut right next to our hotel. I'm like, all right, Josh, you get the kids, you get Meadow down to bed, get the kids, so I'll just go to Pizza Hut. We'll figure something out. So I walk into Pizza Hut, right? And it's like these 3 dudes cooking pizzas, no gloves, bare hand, fisting the fucking dough, taking like cigarette breaks, coming back. At this point, I'm like, you know what? I don't even fucking care. I'm like, go ahead, make the pizza. I won't say a word to anybody else. But I'm just like, what? Like, just fisting the hell out of the dough and the stuff and cooking it, right? And I'm like, and they're walking out, walking back in and leaving and come back in. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing, but I don't even care right now.
Dude, Pizza Hut went totally downhill when they got rid of the buffet. That was the only reason.
Pizza Hut had a buffet?
Bro, they had
maybe in Albany.
the buffet.
What?
The buffet.
Did you say in Albany?
I'd never been to Pizza Hut at a buffet.
Yeah, dude. Yeah? They are.
No, that's old school, and yes, it was delicious.
That's when, like, Pizza Hut was at its,
Pizza Hut was at its peak.
empire peak, right? Like, they ran the game.
They own the market.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then they got rid
and they
of
had
it.
The old school. They had the old school roof,
dude.
like red roof.
100%.
Yeah, dude. Everything now is all.
That's
modern
when there
and
was
stuff.
like.
No, I agree.
There was like hardcore lines between like, were you like a Little Caesars person or a Domino's or a Pizza Hut? Like that's when like empires were like crashing together, and then Pizza Hut, they were like, we're going full buffet. You can't mess with us. And then they collapsed.
Bro, Domino's. And when I was in college, we had a Domino's right next to a local bar we went to. And I swear to God, to this day, I'll put money that Domino's might be the greatest 2 a.m. food ever invented.
Yeah.
Easy bread, cheesy bread, Domino's.
Who innovated?
You were probably a little skewed.
Like, I forget what it was called, but it was like cheese inside the crust.
Mm-hmm. Cheesy crust?
Cheesy crust.
Yeah, dude.
No,
crust. And
was that a Domino's or a Pizza Hut?
I think that was Domino's. I think that was Domino's.
Yeah, dude. I think Domino's, they were like the innovators of the pizza game in like the 90s and 2000s. They always had new stuff.
They had it on lock.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about fitness, or are we going to talk about Domino's and Pizza Hut and out?
It all goes together. It all goes together. You eat all that, and you'll be coming back for some programming.
I'd rather eat pizza.
You know what? I want to get Ryan fired up. Ryan, tell us about the quarterfinal workouts in your opinion.
I'll refrain from what I said off camera. I think they're boring as shit. I agree. I feel like they just like, I think they lack creativity. I don't get it. Like I am a pro Dave person on the programming side. I think he was a big innovator in the sport. I don't know what he's got going on, or it may not even be Dave, right? He may be getting pushback from other people, but it just seems bland, and it doesn't really seem like a bridge between the Open and semifinals. Like it just seems like an extension of the Open is really what I see it as. And like, we're doing more burpees. Why? I agree. I don't get it. Like skill wise, it's like, it's low skill. And this to me should be the bridge point of where, skills start increasing, loads start increasing, and we can start separating people and really, draw the best to semifinals. So I don't really understand the logic behind it. We haven't really seen anything heavy, and anything that is remotely heavy is pretty low skill and super low volume. So I'm pretty anti-inclusion. Like, I think now we're at the point of like, no, now we start separating.
Stage.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
right? Like
stage.
we are at the bottom tier of separation, and we should be programming accordingly for that.
I think they've made some of my favorite workouts of all time have been a couple of those quarterfinal workouts from 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just thought they were super cool workouts, and they had separators in them. They had limiters in them to where like your workout could stop if you couldn't do a wall facing handstand push-up. Like there were rope climbs, 18 rope climbs in one of the workouts.
They had bottlenecks.
Yeah. And I think, and then the battery workout from 2 years ago with the, maybe it was, no, they didn't have quarterfinals last year, from the clean and jerk workout. They've had some really memorable quarterfinal workouts. Like I don't typically remember open workouts. Everybody's always like, "Oh, what'd you do in 21.1?" I'm like, "Bro, I had no idea." But I can bring up and like I can tell you the feeling I had in some of these quarterfinal workouts from 2, 3 years ago, good, bad, or indifferent. Of like, oh man, I remember when that one. I don't think there's anything like that in these. They're just very, to your point, they're very. I think an extension of the open is a great way to put it. They're just like they're going to hurt the people that are doing it at the top of the sport. They're going to hurt because you have to go really fast. But I don't think that doesn't display their fitness necessarily. So I agree with everything you just said.
Every one of these could have been an open workout, right? Like there's no load in here that I'm like, oh, we couldn't have thrown that in the open with the way that it's structured, right? Like you could argue like a 315 deadlift, maybe that's, excessively heavy for the open, but it's at the tail end. Well, that's what I'm saying is by putting it at the tail end and having a bunch of work requirement to even get to that bar, you already make that a safer structure to put it in the competition level that's going to have the broadest amount of people. So
I totally agree with everything you're saying. And
I'm like just not excited about it.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that you would be, it's not going to change your opinion of the workouts, but don't you think it would be nice to get, I'm normally not one that's like, CrossFit owes us an explanation for every move they make every time. I'm not one for like, hey, I'm following their leadership. I'm part of the program. But in this case, it would be nice to have some context around the thought process around the workouts because there's no way that Dave just like wrote these. Like there was clearly a concerted effort to be this style.
But they have the greatest definition of not needing explanation: the unknown and unknowable. 100%. Prepare for whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. By definition of CrossFit, be prepared for anything, the unknown, rule, work capacity, for all time, modal domain. Like that's why we're doing this. It doesn't need to stick to a script. It doesn't need to stick to a heavy barbell and a short sprint, a long aerobic piece. Like so, per their definition, they don't need to provide anything.
But I think sorry, finish your point.
I was going to say, but if you look at it from the way fitness is defined and the way things have gone in the past and the history of the quarterfinals and the semis and being the bridge that Dave keeps talking about, I definitely think they dropped the ball with these workouts.
I think you have to look at the current landscape of everything. You have to step outside of CrossFit and look at what's drawing people right now. Like you have High Rocks, you have like other competitions that are a draw for people. CrossFit has the clear, we'll say, maybe not the clearest definition. They have the most widely known definition of how they define fitness, right? To me, they've been in the game the longest. They are still the pinnacle leaders of the functional fitness competitive movement. So not that they don't have to be forced into speaking about why they're making certain decisions or why they're running certain levels of competition a certain way. I do think it is in their benefit to elaborate on why they're doing things because people these days have more access to information than they've ever had. We have more people writing exercise. We have more people who are like in the weeds about programming for functional fitness style people. So why wouldn't we take the time to elaborate and, maybe clear some things up for people that want to participate in the sport, right? Like get ahead of the bullshit and just explain the what, why, and how behind it. Or the internet's just going to eat it up and they're just going to come to their own conclusions. And then CrossFit looks like shit.
And I don't know that I need like a full blown, like thoughtful explanation or maybe just it's context over like, hey, to your point, Ryan, to me, when you get to quarterfinals, we're now competing, right? Like that's the open, everybody just has to check the box. It's not really, we're not competing yet. Quarterfinals is the first stage of truly competing. Now there's a qualification in the next stage. And the fact that they're not even requiring video or anything from it's just like, yeah, just do your shit. No code words. So people are already doing the workouts. You know that. And to me, there's no context around, well, then what is this stage about? Because 2-3 years ago, it was like quarterfinals it mattered. It was a big deal.
It definitely feels like it's like, whatever, here, guys, just fucking go do it. Like the fact that it came out early, right? And then there's no codes to do it. It's like,
They just kind of don't, it is what it is. It's just quarterfinals, which is fine if that's the context that we need to start looking at it under. But right now, we're still looking at like, hey, quarterfinal. Like when the workouts come out 3 o'clock yesterday, glued to the TV, like, oh, I can't wait. What are they going to be? And now it's like, it's kind of lost its luster a bit.
I don't see it that way. If you're a sport that's predicated on standards, like the entire sport, the entire company was built around upholding a standard, not running it with codes or, like releasing everything Thursday, totally deviates everything that we've done previously. And now it's kind of like now people can start stretching things out and like, are they doing them early? Are they not doing them early? Like who's sticking to the standard of, starting on Thursday? And then it just gets convoluted. And then people are like, why are we doing this? We're going to go do high rocks. We're going to do some things that seem to be better defined or, better managed from this is the competitive standard.
One thing I thought too, when they first came out with it and then up to 2 years ago when they, not only did they not release until Thursday, but they also didn't. You had windows, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had to be done with 1 and 2 by 12 o'clock on Friday, and then 2, 3, and 4 on Friday. And like people bitch because they're like, yeah, but what about people that have to work and this and that? I'm like, bro, if you had to compete in person, you would take off of work. Like that would be. No one gives a shit that you have to work.
Countries.
Sorry, this is where it's coming from. The timing thing, I get that would be the one where you're like, oh, I gotta figure it out. But point is, what I loved about that was that it really made you think about redos. Because did you want to waste energy? Because it was such a crammed window. And to me, it more realistically mimicked a real competition. Because what we have now this weekend is not even close to a competition. You're just redoing workouts in your gym. Yeah. And that's fine. But like the old way was actually as close to an in-person, like actual test of a competition, which I think is valuable. I put a lot of emphasis on being able to go do something once, not try this strategy, wait 48, hit it again. Like, I just think everybody can redo and do better on the second go round if we need to. And that eliminated that. This is a free-for-all. You can do it 6 times if you want. And there's only 4 workouts.
I wonder who did the programming.
Like, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, right? This is a bridge to ascending to the peak of the sport, right? Which is like you get one shot. So the Open is a great opportunity to do the workout, rest, recover, do it again, and learn as an athlete, improve your athletic IQ, and like learn as you stepstone up through the ranks of the sport. Quarterfinals is exactly that. You should get one shot. Right? Maybe the loads are pulled back a little bit, skill is pulled back a little bit, but you're still getting that one shot, which is a super important competitive skill set. And then in semifinals, now you're putting it all together. Higher loads, higher skills, and one single shot. So we've completely disregarded the progression of that in the pursuit of developing athletes.
And just letting them be online warriors.
You can't make the argument that we're not trying to develop athletes because this is the competitive part of the season. We are out of GPP phase. We are into doing competitive shit, trying to qualify for things.
Yeah. In a positive light, just so we don't seem like fucking negative Nancy's, negative Timmy's. What'd you say?
Fuck that.
I'm excited to see what people can get done on the 40-80 workout. 40 bar muscle-ups, 80 dumbbelling squat cleans.
I mean, dude, you and I were just talking about that. That to me is such an eloquent format. Like those were the things that early on, we start seeing new formats and we start kind of pushing different levers within athletes. Like, okay, this is really going to test some athlete IQ in some people, right? Like you have to really understand your capacity to break this up. They're just like, here's the work, go get it done. And I love that format. And I haven't felt that the last couple of years. Like the innovation just doesn't feel like it's there to really challenge people.
This one definitely doesn't have a Dave Castro feel. I'll tell you that. Not at all.
A lot of Boz in there.
I mean, is it? I feel like Boz loves bottlenecks. Like I remember one year Boz did the quarterfinals, and the quarterfinals that Boz did, it had a different taste, twist, and days, but it's definitely more like bottleneck-esque.
No, you're exactly right. That's the
Right.
book on him. There's always
Yeah.
one bottleneck in the workout.
Dave's more like, I feel Dave had a little bit of balance between some heavy stuff and some other things. I don't know what this is, but yeah, I don't know.
Dude, this is ChatGPT.
Even like I'm not gonna say his name, but I was talking to somebody who we will not name. But if you are a Conquer Athlete podcast listener, you will know this reference, the Scottie Pippen of CrossFit. I was talking to him about it, and he very similar thing. He was like, as an athlete, it's like whatever I'm gonna do them. He goes, they're not exciting. In less words, the
I
Scottie
think the
Pippen of
80-40
CrossFit.
one is cool. I don't love the dumbbell hang clean and jerk just because I think it's kind of goofy, but I think the format's cool.
I mean, to be fair, though, I don't think they all certainly don't have to be exciting. I think there is a grit component to it where it's just like, hey, you're going to grind and you're going to suffer. Like, that's a part of the sport. I think there's an opportunity for some flash. I think there's an opportunity for some heavy barbell work. We can segment all sorts of different, buttons or types of expression of fitness that could be really beneficial. And this is like wet noodles of workouts.
Yeah, it's like pushing rope on a Saturday night.
I don't even get that.
This is to come up short.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work.
Well, okay. So what do you guys think of this decathlon of fitness?
Give me some context. I missed the first part of it.
Xenon? Xenon?
Yes. Yep.
Do we need another competitive landscape?
People are really trying to latch on to this.
What's crazy is like is tied to it now, which is like
Shit.
pretty wild.
That could be a connection to somebody, right? Like somebody just knows somebody that, all right, that's a work. Let's go try it out. And if you're rogue, you just
I think rogue
throw your name on as many fitness things. Well, but I'm saying if you're rogue, there's no downside to you putting equipment out there. Your name's up in front of more fitness people.
I feel like this has to be tied to CrossFit because it says designed for CrossFit and functional fitness athletes. So CrossFit's tied to it.
Yeah.
Or else you wouldn't be able to use this name. But it's funny because I was telling Ryan this way back in the day when James Fitzgerald was still OPT. I think, was it even OPEX at this point? Or was it still OPT? I don't know. He tried doing this called the Decathlon of Fitness. And it was set 10 events. And I think CJ and Invictus would host it for him. And it was the same workouts all the time, spread across. So you knew exactly what you're training for based off the workouts they made. And they'd always say the same based on their definition of fitness and energy systems and how to go about it. I think the other problem was he was on such an outs with CrossFit that the community backing it was very minimal and it never really got legs to run on. So I think it's kind of funny now if CrossFit is tied to this, that they're tied to it because that's exactly what he was doing like 15 years ago.
Well, exactly what he was doing. And it also seems like it's against their core philosophy. So.
Right.
Like, I just don't understand where we're at. Like, cool. I don't know. For competitive athletes, I don't know if it's the best thing for them. Like, they already seem like they're already tiptoeing a line of it's too much, like, especially with like the WFP circuit and then Rogue and then Wadapalooza aligning with the Open. Like, there's a lot of moving parts within that. For the general fitnesser, maybe it's better. Like it kind of condenses the amount of movements you need to prepare for and knowing what you're getting into.
This would never happen, but I still love the idea if there was like a governing fitness body and then the governing fitness body, we had a culmination and everyone worked together. And whether it's the World Fitness Project or Xenon, I don't know what the fuck it is, almost very similar to a couple years ago with the semis. With Wadapaloozas but even that wasn't truly, in my opinion, working together because it was like shit was all over the place. It was like
they still let them do their own thing.
Everything's got to be the same stuff, the same workouts for these events, and it's you almost look at it like a PGA Tour, right? To get to the Masters, right? If I even use that synonym correctly, I apologize, golfers, if I didn't. But I think that would be like the ultimate objective at where this needs to get to. For otherwise, like Ryan said, it's too much stuff, too scattered, shit's too all over the place. Like athletes are getting burnt out because they're doing World Fitness Project and then to turn on and try and do Rogue. And then you have the Open starting up, right? And then you have Xenon starting up and who knows what it is, right? It's a lot going on without clear direction and focus.
I wrote a note down and I was like, have we just gotten too far? Or like, have we just forgotten how to do fitness? And like, just go to the gym and work out without attaching a metric or a competition or something to, like, everything has to have like an end state. I'm prepping for da 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 da, or
Yes.
I'm watching a heart rate. I'm watching whatever. I'm tracking it in this app, and like,
Just go to the gym and get after it, man.
well, have we actually, like, is it actually fucking us as humans doing that? Where it's like, why don't we just focus on like moving and moving better and doing fit? I mean, whatever, getting back to originally what like GPP was, where it was like, you can still do GPP in some semblance of a like structured, smart way, but it's like, don't limit yourself. Go do something long, go do something short, go do something heavy, go do something light, like play a little bit more and express fitness in a lot of different ways instead of always attaching a metric to it.
People have, I had a friend of mine just ran a 50 miler, 51 miles, something like that. Dude, he hated it. Like he did the thing. It was this past weekend, and I think he was so proud that he did it. And it's just a normal dude, 2 kids, a normal dad. Anyway, in the fall, something crawled up him, and he was like, "You know what? I'm gonna do a 50 miler." And I talked to him over the course of those months where he's pulled back off of his CrossFit. He goes to our gym, and he's pulled back off of his CrossFit training because he's been doing a ton of mileage and this and that and other. He's been banged up. He's had knee problems and hip problems and this and that. And I'm like, and he's complaining to me, he's like, "Man, I don't want to go out there and run these 30 miles this week." I'm like, then what are you doing? That's the whole point. Is supposed to be like a release and a mental. It's supposed to be fun. You're supposed to enjoy it. But I think people as a whole, using him as like the barometer or the example rather, is I think people want. Someone made a comment to me. They were crushing the open in the gym, and he made a comment. He's like, "Man, this is my Super Bowl. You get the games, right? Like you get all these stages and things like that." He's like, "But for the regular dude, this is my once a year. Like I'm going after it." And I think inherently, everybody probably there's a part of them that does fitness. There is a competitive part that's like, I want to go do. Well, the games is obviously the pinnacle of the sport, but like I want to go do something, and so they feel like there's this human nature in this to like have something on the calendar to go train for. I'm prepping for my biggest thing right now is you go on Instagram and everybody's training for their half marathon or training for their marathon.
Yeah.
And for me, again, with where I've been in the sport, I'm always like, we can run a marathon tomorrow. Like because we train, that's just where we train at a high level. You can go run and do this and do that. And so I think people have this like desire to put something on the calendar to be able to go chase. And then when they do it, they can, hey, I did this thing. And I think all these different fitness things that are popping up give access to those people, right? Because not everybody can go do the games, and I get that. But it's for them, it's something to go train for because, Ryan, to your point, the three of us, we just enjoy training. Go in there and get after it, throw down with your boys. That's the best. But I think most people just want, they want something to like go for versus like just go in there and train, man, and get better and work hard and do all these things.
Well, I agree with you guys. I think I think it comes down to the internal battle, just the human spirit, meaning I think people need something. Most people don't know how just to do something, right? And I think that's one reason. I do think another reason is that sometimes people just want to have something to shoot for their own accountability and scorekeeping. If you have a specific personality and just not want to get up and do stuff, having a goal and a target to do something is going to be a lot easier for them to do it. Where like there's other people, quote unquote, us, who don't necessarily need that. We're just going to get up and do something and figure out what we're going to do and play. Ryan, what you were saying in regards to like, have people forgotten how to just, I'll just sum it up in my own words, explore in the gym and just have fun and use the gym as like a playground for fitness, for activity, for movement, for work. I don't think people know how to do that. And I think that's the problem. I don't think people taught how to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like think about like growing up and how people taught in the weight room is like, people have no idea how to even do that, how to even go about it, right? It's almost like they come in, it's like overwhelming, as opposed to, I'm just going to XYZ and play around with things for a little bit. And I think that comes back to just our own educational platform around fitness and people and health and longevity.
Yeah. I mean, I think we fall into it too. Like we teach other coaches principles of strength conditioning. And like, there's a quote, right way and a wrong way to do it. There's a lot of science behind it that supports it where we're currently at from like an educational standpoint. But who's to say in 10 or 15 years, those principles totally change, right? Like as we continue to evolve, we continue to get access to better equipment and things like that. So it's like just following these dogmatic approaches to fitness, I think actually stops innovation. Right. And we like when we're not playing, we're not innovating. And, you know, like how many of us now are just tied to a Garmin, right? Like you like look at your Garmin, you're like, you wake up in the morning and you could honestly feel fine, but then you look down at your watch and your watch is like, nah, dog, you slept like shit. You should feel like shit. Your HRV is low. You shouldn't train that hard. When in all reality, some of my best training sessions were the day after I was fucking hungover, you know? Or like, you know, like, why am I letting...
bread that night before too.
What's
Domino's.
Try a cheesy bread with that too.
Yeah.
Domino's. Pizza Hut buffet.
We've lost our ability to really like feel. And I find myself now taking my watch off at night because like I don't want that data. I just want to wake up in the morning and be like, cool, how are we feeling today? And start like actually feeling things versus some electronic thing telling me how I feel. Like I don't like that.
I've never had that because from very early on, you and I have only ever trained really by feel. Even on like actual specific training, rowing, biking, that's like, how's that feel? Go a little harder then. Great. Back off a little bit. And I just learned how to like, and that's what got me through the airport, boys, to bring this full circle, was I just was rolling by feel. You know what I mean? It's just training in the wild.
Yeah, a couple of Reese's Pieces from the convenience store.
No big deal.
You know, no big deal. Guys, we're going to end the podcast there. On that note, I think we had some great conversations. We'd love to hear what you guys thought about A, Pizza Hut, B, Domino's, C, Pizza Hut Buffet.
Shake Shack.
Shake Shack versus In-N-Out Burger. Quarterfinals. And is it the white towel being thrown in? Or is it some sort of
cryptic code that CrossFit's changing?
Yeah. And also,
we're going to reach out and see if we can get Dave on the next podcast. Get some answers.
We could. We had him on the podcast before. Are you gonna fucking man up?
I wasn't here.
Are you gonna man up and ask questions? Or are you gonna?
I'm gonna ask the tough questions that we. No. I'm asking. We're gonna get to the bottom of some stuff. I think that'd be great.
You ask some tough questions.
Hey, for the record, if you go back and watch Savan behind the scenes, me and Dave had a very nice interaction at the games, and it's the opening to either episode 4 or 5 from last year. Me and Dave, we're buddies. We go way back.
I love that. All right, anything you want to say? You want to throw in there?
Next cohort of the Conquer Athlete Mentorship is kicking off April 8th. If you're a coach looking to refine, maybe even define your programming principles, want to expand your horizons, learn how to program for not only the everyday athlete, but the competitive athlete, we got you. They're super small, super intimate, a lot of touch points. You're going to learn directly from Jay and I. Hit us up. We are enrolling.
You know what? Listen, check it out. We have the best fucking mentorship out there. It's been dubbed university level. It has. I'm not just saying that. By multiple people who have taken it. Everything comes with a fucking cost, and ours isn't even that expensive. But if you're out there and you're a coach and you're worried about you're worried about the cost. A, we have ways to work around that. But B, you got to figure that shit out. I get it. When I come in the game, I had zero fucking money. I was living in a fucking trailer, and I racked up credit card debt to learn and educate myself. Shit happens. You have to reinvest in yourself. You have to put time to reinvest in yourself to get better at it. And if you are going to reinvest and put time into it, then you might as well do it with a mentorship that truly cares about you and making you the best you can become, which is our mentorship. Hands down, nothing else needs to be said.
Well, I will say one thing.
Or something else.
The workaround in price does not involve sending nudes. So if that was a concern,
you said sending nudes?
No, does not involve sending nudes.
Someone sent nudes.
Someone sent you nudes?
No, I'm just saying.
I bet it was a dude.
I'm just saying.
I bet it was a dude.
It's not like a weird workaround. Like, we'll work with you, but we're not going to ask for anything weird. Now that you guys just made it way weirder.
And that's the episode. Thanks, everybody.
I mean, Tyler does like feet. You can send Tyler some feet.
No, he doesn't. I think feet are gross. No, he doesn't. Do not send me any. Actually, I'm not even involved in mentorship. So do not send me anything.
All right. We'll see you guys on the next show.
See you, boys.